Welcome to this video on file organization techniques. In this video, we will explore sequential and indexed file organization techniques. Before exploring various file organization techniques, we should know what constitutes a file. A file is a collection of data stored on mass storage, for example on a disk or on a tape. In a file, data is organized into records. For example, in a student's information file, the information of a single student is called a record. Each record contains a number of fields. For example, the information of a student may be stored under different fields such as student's roll number, name, date of birth, gender, program, and address. For easy manipulation and providing retrieval efficiency, one or more fields are considered as the key fields. So it is clear that a file is a collection of records. Now the issue is how to organize the records on mass storage, for example on disk or on tape, to provide convenient access to the user. So a file organization refers to the way records are arranged on a storage device. How best the files be arranged for ease of access? This necessity has led to the development of a number of file organization or file access techniques as shown in this figure. This figure indicates that the records in a file can be organized in sequential, indexed and hashed manners. First, let us discuss about the sequential file organization technique. A sequential file is one in which records can only be accessed one after another from beginning to the end of the file. In this file, data records are stored in some specific sequence, for example in order of arrival or according to the key of the record. Consider these three records which are related to students' information stored in a file. So record 1, record 2, record 3. Record 1, record 2, record 3, all these three records have three fields. First field is roll number of the student, second field is name of the student, and third field is the age of the student. So now you can see we have record 1, record 2, record 3 organized in a sequence based on the key value. The key or the roll number of first student is 1. Now the roll number of Arpit is 2, and now the roll number of Ashutosh is 3. So as per the feature of the sequential file, the data records are stored in some specific sequence. So this sequence is defined by the key, or we can say according to the roll number of the students. We have organized all the records of students in a file. Now another property of the sequential file, records can only be accessed one after another from beginning to end. Now suppose our file has only 3 records and we want to retrieve the record number 3. So we need to traverse the record number 1, record number 2, then only we will reach at record number 3. In case we want to retrieve the record number 2, in this case we first need to traverse the record number 1, then we will reach to record number 2. So this is the working of sequential file organization. So the records of a sequential file organization cannot be accessed at random. In sequential file organization, the actual storage of records might or might not be sequential. Although the records in sequential files are organized in sequence, but it is not necessary that the storage space will be allocated in a sequence. In case of tape, when we store the records on a tape, the storage space is allocated in a sequence. Storing the records on a tape is similar to storing values in an array where elements are stored in a continuous memory locations. In case of disk, when storing the records on disk, some records might be stored in continuous storage space, but it is not necessarily true. However, the records may be distributed or stored on different sectors of the disk, and the operating system, using the concept of linked list, links the records in a sequence. These are the advantages of sequential file organization. Sequential files are easy to handle and involve no overhead, because records in sequential files are stored, deleted or searched in a sequential manner. By following the sequential file organizations, records can be stored on tapes as well as on disks. Sequential files has one main disadvantage of time consuming. Suppose we want to access the 9th record of a file, then it can be done only after visiting or traversing all previous 8 records, which makes it a time consuming process. Therefore, it is not possible to access a record directly or randomly with a sequential file organization. Indexed file allow us to access a record randomly, and to access a record in a file randomly, we need to know the address of the record. This diagram shows how a record is accessed in indexed file. Now suppose a customer wants to check his bank account detail. Neither the customer nor the teller knows disk address of the customer's record in the computer. The customer can only give the teller their account number, also known as key. Here an indexed file can relate the account number key to the record address. Suppose the customer supplies a account number or key, and based upon the key, the address can be retrieved by a mechanism, and this address may be somewhere in the hard disk, in the disk. So you can see this is a file. In this files there are key records. So by mapping the key to address, we can retrieve the record directly or randomly, we can say, with the help of indexed files. Here is the logical view of the indexed file. An indexed file is made of two files. One is data file, which is sequential file in nature, and another one is the index file. The index itself is a very small file with only two fields: the key of the sequential file and the address of the corresponding record on the disk. The index is sorted based on the key value of the data file. So you can see this is the index file. In this index file we have stored the key. As considering the case of bank customers, this key may be referred to as the bank account number of the customers. So these keys, these account numbers are stored in a sequence, in a sorted sequence. And in second column you can see we have address, disk address, where the record of this customer, is stored on disk. This second column indicates this. So suppose we want to find the record of a customer having bank account 166702. So by some mechanism or by following binary search tree or other search related algorithm, so we can find where this record is stored. So with this customer bank account number, we can see this record is stored at address 003 in the disk. So you can see at 003 we can find the record Harry Eagle, which has the bank balance of 14321. So by this way we can retrieve the record from a indexed file. Now we need to perform following sequence of steps to access the record in a indexed file. First, the entire index file is loaded into the main memory. Because index file is very small, it can very easily fit into the memory. Second, the index entries are searched using any efficient search algorithm such as binary search. We can search the index entries for the given key. Third, the address of the record is retrieved. This address refers to the disk address where the record is stored on the disk, and then using the address the record can be retrieved and passed to the user. So one of the advantages of indexed files is that we can have more than one index, each with a different key. In case of customers details, in case of bank customers, our index file may have two columns. One is the account number of the customer and second one is the address of the record. A bank customer can also be searched by the phone number, which is also a unique key. So in such a case we can have another file, another index file, so in which we have stored phone numbers of the customers, and for each phone number record exists in the disk. Now consider the example of students record which are stored in a file. So for student record, indexed file may have roll number and then address of the record. Similarly, for accessing employees record from a file, we may have index file with two columns. One is the employee ID and second is the address of the disk. For employees record, we may also use employee's phone number to access the records. So this type of indexed file where we may have more than one index is usually called an inverted file. So now another category of file, that is direct file, hashed file also known as. A hashed file uses a mathematical function to maps the keys to the address. The user gives the key, the function maps the key to the address and passes it to the operating system, and then record is retrieved. So with this diagram you can see user supplied a key. This may be the bank account number in case of retrieving bank customers record. So this is key, and this key is passed to a function. That function is called hash function. So this function calculates the disk address or the index at which the record of that particular customer is stored. So you can see with this function we will be able to calculate the address of the record. Now with this address we can find the record of the customer in a file. This is a file where key records are stored. So this is another approach for organizing or accessing the record in a file. Now detailed process of a direct, or you can say the hashed file. This is almost similar to the indexed file, where we used to have two files. One was the indexed file and another was the data file. In case of direct file, or you can say hashed file, there is no concept of index file. So we only have this data file, and how the record can be retrieved from this data file is using a function, or you can say a hash function. So suppose we supplied the key 20025. So this key is used in the hash function, and the hash function calculated the address. Suppose it calculates the address as 025. So with this way we can retrieve the customer information which is stored at address 025 in the disk. You can see 025 is related to John Carver, having bank balance of 7234.01. After learning the concepts of various file organization techniques, now we should learn how a sequential file is updated. Updating allows us to keep a file up to date. Without that capacity, the file would be obsolete shortly after it was created. Information that is kept on files needs to be modified as changes to the information on the file occur. This process is called updating, and the files that are being updated are called master files. Updating a file can involve either adding a new record or changing or modifying an existing record, or deleting a record from the file. Here is the process of updating a sequential file. With this diagram, you can see there are 5 components. One is transaction file, another is the old master file. Ignore this word old just for 1 minute. It will be clear why I have written this old master file. Third component is the update program, means a computer program. Fourth is error file, error report file, and fifth is the new master file. So to understand this process of updating a sequential file, consider an example that I evaluated the answer sheets of data and file structures and recorded the marks of students in a file. So suppose there are 45 students in my class, so I recorded the marks of 45 students in a file, and this file is called master file. Now I need to update this file because 3 students, Harshit, Vansh and Priyam, told me that their marks are not correctly recorded. There is some faults. So I created a file of 3 students here, Harshit, Vansh and Priyam, and recorded their correct marks. Okay, so this file is transaction file and this file is master file where I have recorded the marks of 45 students. I need to correct 3 students marks, Harshit, Vansh and Priyam. So for updating, I have written a computer program. So these 2 files are processed by this program, and it may be possible that the record does not exist in the this master file. This may happen. Suppose student Ajay Kumar told me that his marks are not recorded in the files. So I checked why his marks are not recorded, and I found that he does not belong to my data structure class. So when updating such a record, when the record does not exist, so the program will throw an error. So right. So now after processing these 2 files, the marks of Harshit, Vansh and Priyam will be updated accordingly, and this, you can see the updated file is now new master files. So now this new master file will become old master file if some other students observe that their marks are not correctly recorded and they now need to change their their marks. So for example, suppose 2 more students, Nitin and Devlin, also observed that their marks are not correct. So the same process will be repeated. I will create a transaction file having 2 records for Nitin and Devlin, and this is old master files having records of 45 students. So both these files will be processed by the computer program, and if everything goes well, there will be no error, and if something wrong goes wrong, such that the record of Devlin does not exist in the old master file, so then the program will create an error, and this error may be recorded in a file. So after processing the files, the program will create or you can say update the records, and this file now becomes the old master file for further updating process. The updating of a sequential file can also be understood by this example. To make the updating process efficient, all files are sorted on the same key. Suppose this is our old master file where we have records 10, 13, 14, 16, 20, 21, 22, 25 and 35. Now we have a transaction file, which means we need to update or delete or add these 3 records which are highlighted in yellow in the master files. So you can see here we have A31, C25, A23, D21, A18, A17, C14. Now the A indicates add. So you can see we do not have the number 31 here. So this will be added to the master file. Okay, now C25, this will enable us to change the record to 25, A23, D21. You can see we have this number 21 here. So in the new master file, this record will be deleted based upon the operations recorded in the transaction files. Okay, so by this way we will be able to we will able to generate a new master file. Error in updating a sequential file. As we discussed in last slide, there may some error while updating the sequential file. So several cases may create an error and be reported in the error file. If the transaction defines adding a record that already exists in the old master file, means the same key value, so this will cause an error. And another situation is if the transaction defines deleting or changing a record that does not exist in the old master file, so this will also create an error. Now text file and binary file. A file stored on a computer device is a sequence of bits, and that can be interpreted by an application program either as a text file or a binary file. Now see, if suppose a file contains this bit stream 01000001, 01000010, when this file is interpreted as a text file, so you can see it will give you two characters A and B. When the same file having same bit stream is interpreted as a binary file, it will give you a number 16706. So a text file is a file of characters. It cannot contain integers, floating point numbers, or any other data structure in their internal memory format. To store these data types, they must be converted to their character equivalent formats. For example, the file sent to a printer is an example of text file. When data, or you can say a file stream, is sent to the printer takes 8 bits, interprets them as a byte, and then decodes them into the encoding system of the printer, either ASCII or ABCDIC. If the character belongs to the printable category, it will be printed. Otherwise, some other activity takes place, such as printing a space. The printer takes the next 8 bits and then repeats the process. This is done until the file stream is exhausted. So a binary file is a collection of data stored in the internal format of the computer. In binary file, the data can be integer, including other data types represented as unsigned integers such as image, audio or video, a floating point number, or any other structured data except a file. Unlike the text files, binary files contain data that is meaningful only if it is properly interpreted by a program. If the data is textual, 1 byte is used to represent 1 character. If the data is numeric, 2 or more bytes are considered a data item. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this video will help you in understanding various types of file organization techniques and the process of how the sequential files are updated. It will also help you differentiate between the text file and binary file.